Hey, this is Rick Casale, your injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, I wanted to go through 3 must-do back pain relief exercises for men. And I'll get Andrea to demonstrate the first one, and then I'll go through it in detail and then show you the other 2. Good, so this ends up being the first one, knees rocking. So you're lying on your back, hands are to the side, feet are together, knees are together, and then you're just rocking the knees side to side. So you're going to start off with 12 o'clock, and then either rock to 1, and then rock to 11, and then you can kind of progress further, like 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And with this one, what we're working on is stretching out the hips and the lower back, also working on the mobility in the hips and the lower back. Now, if this ends up being too easy, you can end up progressing it by, if you cross the legs over, and there we go. And then you can rock like this, and then back to the start, and then rock like this, and back to the start. And then you'd switch legs, and then rock to this side, good, and then back. That ends up giving a stronger stretch in the hip and a stronger mobility stretch in the hip and the low back area. So when it comes to sets, reps, and time and intensity, sets 1, repetitions 5 each side, so a total of 10 movements. When it comes to time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at each end point, so about a second. And then when it comes to intensity, we're looking for a light stretch and a light mobility movement. So that ends up being the first of the must-do exercises for back pain, specifically for men. The second one ends up being the press-up. So you're lying on your stomach, hands are just underneath your shoulders. You're going to press up, you're going to arch through that back, good. And you can see Andrea's gone through the full movement, so really working through that low back and mid-back. Good, smooth, controlled movement, coming to a good stop at the top position, and then coming back down. Now, you might not have as much range of motion as Andrea does, so you can end up going to wherever you can, right to here, and then back down. So with this one, when it comes to sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets 1, repetitions 5, time, smooth controlled movement, and then you're making a good stop at the top position. And then the intensity, you're looking for a light mobility movement in that mid-low back area. Now, before we move on to the next exercise, I kind of want to talk about why these exercises I specifically picked for men. So these 3 exercises, the really reason why I picked them was these tend to target areas that guys with back pain tend to have the most issues with that need to be fixed. So the first one was the stretching out the hips and the low back and improving the mobility in the hips and the low back. So these tend to be tight areas that that guys have that end up having back pain that needs to be addressed. And then the second one, the press-up one, working on the mobility in that whole spine, specifically the mid-back and low back. Oftentimes, the spine ends up being tight in guys and needs to be loosened up, and that ends up being an excellent exercise. And then the third exercise, the thread the needle, ends up being excellent for really targeting that mid-back area and low back area. So you're in a 4-point position. You're straight in the hips, shoulders, and the head. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and then you're going to bring one arm through, threading it through, good. So you can see we're really working on improving the movement in that mid-back area, stretching out the sides of the back, and then also stretching out that hip. And then you're going to go from one side to the other side, and alternating back through to the other side. And you're really trying to bring the hand through, and then if you can, bring that shoulder through, really working on the mobility through that mid-back, low back, hip, and stretching out the sides of the back. So with that one, when it comes to sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets 1, repetitions 5 each side, time, smooth controlled movement, and then a good hold at the end position. And when it comes to intensity, looking for a light stretch in the hip, low back area, the sides of the back, and the mid-back area. and light mobility happening in those areas as well. So there you go. Give those 3 must-do back pain relief exercises for men a go. Now, if you want some of my other tips and tricks when it relates to back pain, then click right here. I have a brand new free report called 5 Tricks That Fight Back Pain and Tightness. Just click right here. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you're watching this on a mobile device or a tablet, head down below in the description and click the first link, which will end up being exercisesforinjuries.com/backs. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, leave it down below in the comment section. And then lastly, hit subscribe in order to get future pain relieving videos.